All right, we get it, guys. Exposure.
Let's stop with that. Enough talk about exposure. Let's talk about the fun stuff now. Focus. And I mean the focus of your camera, but also your focus, of course. I mean, there are two kinds of focuses. So in short, we say that a subject is in focus when it's sharp. Anything else, like in the background or foreground, that is unsharp is out of focus. It's like me, I'm in focus, and that over there is out of focus. Now, turning that focus ring on your lens will bring the focus back and forwards. The bigger your focus field is depends on the aperture. We've talked about this before. Now, there are two ways of focusing. Either you do it manually by turning the focus ring, or you let the camera do it automatically. Oftentimes, you have a switch on your lens for that. AF stands for autofocus and MF stands for manual focus. If your lens doesn't have that option, you can set it from the menus and choose manual focus or one of the different techniques that autofocus needs to use. Because autofocus can do a phase detection and always try to have a face in focus, or it can be set to a chosen point so that you can use the thumbsticks to choose a specific point to which the lens needs to focus. Each option has its own use case, so it's not like one is better than the other. It depends. Now, autofocus might seem a bad choice in general. I mean, so far I've been telling you guys not to use auto, but there are exceptions. I mean, manual focus does give you more control. However, it isn't always easy to keep your subject in focus when doing it manually. You know, if your goal is to keep your subject in focus while you run around with your camera, why not set it to autofocus with face detection? It allows you to focus more on framing, camera movements, or the histogram and whatnot. When you don't have a person in your framing, you could even opt for the point focus option. Using the thumbsticks, you can move it to that point to focus around, or even while filming. So you could start off filming, for example, one object, run around, or do whatever you want, and then move that focus point to somewhere else, changing the focus. And I think this is a great way to practice with focus changes without having to worry too much whether or not your subject is actually sharp. So autofocus definitely has its benefits, but it also comes with some downsides. You have no control over what the focus does. It happens automatically. That means that focus pumping could occur. This is where the camera has trouble to focus on a subject and starts pumping back and forwards. Or when changing the focus through that technique with the thumbsticks, you have no control over how fast the focus changes. So if you have the guts and want absolute control, then set your camera to manual focus. And we'll talk more about that in the next lesson.